Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, do you know it's just over 2 days until Christmas 2020? And oh my goodness, it's coming up on us quickly. And today we're going to talk about the Mando Monday merch release from yesterday. I know we're a day late, but with that season finale and the discussion we had on the deep dive yesterday, I just knew there was no way to get to this in time yesterday. And as well, Hasbro really didn't release any new vintage collection or Black Series figures. And as far as a toy release is concerned, there's not a whole lot of stuff to talk about. Although there are quite a few collectibles, there's some really good stuff out there to be had. So we'll talk about your questions. We'll kind of have an open discussion on general Star Wars stuff. What's coming in the future? As Anthony, I see your question in there. I'm very much looking forward to getting to that discussion as well, and where the future of Star Wars is headed on Disney Plus and perhaps the big screen, if there is such a thing in the future. That industry is changing. So we'll take a look at that as well. So without further ado, I do want to get into the merch review first, and kind of talk about what they released yesterday. Some of it was just previews, so we didn't have ability to even place a pre-order. It's just a preview, so we'll look at those as well. And to start off, just if you're not familiar with it, StarWars.com hosts the Mando Mondays, and if you go to StarWars.com/Mando-Mondays, you can get right into the merch featured each week. And this week, they're featuring this Darksaber Force Effects Elite lightsaber. So this is the Darksaber in a Force Effects Elite. Now, the Darksaber was released earlier. Hello, Mike. Mike Porter, welcome. Thank you for joining. So the Darksaber was released before as a bit of a low-grade thing. I saw Josh playing with it last night on the Nerd Theory podcast that they do Monday evenings. That's a fine toy. This one here is a bit heftier, and so here it is. I've got it on GameStop, but it's also available on there's a US and a UK version. So GameStop has it featured here, and it looks very, very nice. They've done a decent job of it, and it's much more detailed than the version that came out before, and you can see it in the preview pictures here. What's really nice about this Force of X saber is it's got a display stand of just the hilt, so you can disconnect the blade from it, display it just the hilt, and there gives you a different ability to kind of interact with the toy. And here you can see another view of that hilt. And it looks really, really well made for $200 plus. You would hope that would be the case. Oh my goodness! It does have a bit of thickness to the blade, but it's not nearly what we saw in the toy that was released previous. So this does look really well made. I like it a lot. I'm not sure that I'm in for $200 worth of it. But for those who are looking for a nice dark saber to have, this was definitely be something to have. So, Anthony, good stuff. Good stuff. We'll get there in just a second. The second item in the Mando Monday release was this pre-order for the Hasbro Black Series Boba Fett re-armored premium electronic helmet. Now, this is an Amazon available, $120, and this is released January 1st. You can pre-order it now on Amazon.com, and let me make these things a little bit bigger so you guys get a better view. $120, and again, this goes right with the one that we had previously of the Mandalorian helmet. And it looks really, look at this. It's really, really well done. You got this bolt on the front. The and I think this is the same helmet that we've seen Theory wear. He got it as a preview, and really nice helmet. So $120, you can now order that on Amazon.com. To keep going, we've then there's a Finnick Shand sweatshirt. Finnick is starting to get some attention. Hey there, Will Morgan. Hello. Welcome. And then here's the next one I want to cover, the Slave One. This Slave One is vintage collection. It's coming May 2021, $150. This is, again, vintage collection. So your vintage collection figures will fit inside it. And I was looking at the pictures of this earlier today, and they're really nice. So you get your carbonite Han Solo there, frozen in carbonite. Boba Fett has secured his bounty. I mean, here you can see the vintage collection figure in the cockpit. There's room for 2 more passengers here, vintage figures, and you know, I really like it, and it does have the stand so that you can lay it down on its surface in landing position here, and you can see these vintage collection figures fit with it perfectly. Look at the backside of it too. Oh my goodness, that looks great. You've got the engines all lit up. You got the classic smiley face here. If you haven't noticed that, the smiley face on the Slave One. And look here, you got a couple of these sonic charges. These are great, and they look to be removable. So wow, I really like this Slave One, and this is $150 for pre-order now. It doesn't come out till next summer. And you see that on Entertainment Earth. That's worth adding to a collection. And as I saw, Will, where was it? I saw it went away just as it was Mike Porter. Collecting is pricey. Yes, indeed. Collecting is quite pricey. But for $150, I think they're giving you a decent value here as far as just a vintage collection Slave One. To put that in perspective, the vintage collection RIP to our Razor Crest was far excess of $150. Just to put that in a little perspective. And you can see this, it opens up. So there you go. I thought this is probably my favorite thing in the whole Mando Monday release. And then there are some other things. Here's Galaxy of Heroes, Mandalorian's Hero's Journey event. Another T-shirt and a Funko Pop with IG-11. Here's some pop sockets. Really, as far as toys go, and I get lots of requests from kids asking for Hot Wheels. This is the kind of thing, and they really didn't even release this in a true like pre-order thing. Even this is more of a hype video, and so I've got it up here so you guys can see. This is just a hype video on the Hot Wheels cars. You see, there's the Mandalorian version. There's Cara Dune's. There's the child, complete with frog in his mouth there, and they've got this little cartoon that goes on. It's an entertaining cartoon, but my goodness, it's just, give us where we can go order these daggone things. That would be nice. And there's another vehicle that makes a guest appearance in here. It's an entertaining cartoon. It's only 2.5 minutes long, 3 minutes long. And it goes through the classic chase scene like you get in cartoons where they're going in and out of doors. Yeah, here we go. And then, like watching an old Scooby-Doo cartoon, and they're looking, Cara Dune and Den are looking for the child, and he's hiding from them. They're having a good little game there. They find him. Oh boy, we've got some Stormtrooper Hot Wheels come along. That's not good. And here comes our guest appearance. We've got one more vehicle reveal. Boom, there he is. Boom, there he is. Heavy infantry Mandalorian vehicle as well. So these all look fantastic. As far as just toys are concerned, this is probably the best in the lot. if you were looking for a gift. But these haven't. I didn't even see where they were really released. So there's that. The next thing in the list, though, is again, they kind of rehash stuff over and over. And this is, again, a complaint of mine of these Mando Monday merchandise releases. The Nerf gun. Now, this is a $150 Nerf gun. Of course, the detail is really nice. The action on it's really nice as far as like a collectible, but it's more of a toy than a collectible. And at that point, at that price point, I don't know that I want a Nerf gun toy for $150. It's very nice if you're looking for that kind of thing, but back to Mike Porter's, collecting is pricey. Even in this case, just a Nerf gun to play with, pricey, $150. Wow. So we get our standard like stuff backpack, and then here's our hot toy, the Transport Trooper, and this is just a preview. We don't even have yet the pre-order for this. It's a preview. Of course, it's Din wearing the Transport Trooper outfit, or presumably that would be it. It might just be a Transport Trooper, but here you go, the hot toy. It looks great, but we don't have any other information on that product. So a little disappointing there. It's just a reveal. And then here's again a callback to the Black Series Mandalorian helmet. There's some funny socks for people that like that. We've got the augmented reality. There another figure added there to find. We got some Topps trading cards. Now, trading cards are very popular. I get asked for those quite frequently from children, and those are listed. And then we've got these fig pins. The fig pins are neat. I brought those up here. Here's Bo-Katan, $20. Again, this is a pre-order. It ships late spring 2021. Not sure why the pins are so delayed on production, but there's your Bo-Katan for $15. Ahsoka Tano with the Rosario Dawson likeness, $15. And we get Din Djarin with Child, $15. So all of these are pre-orders. They don't come out until spring next year. Again, you're talking Mando Mondays. You're right at Christmas and the holiday season. These are kind of disappointing to me that you can't go ahead and order them. Same with those Hot Wheels toys. I was hoping for a little bit better as far as the merch release went. And then we've got some nice stuff here. Cover for a baby carrier, a blanket, those kind of things. And then again, rehashing some previous stuff that was available. Good stuff, but no Mando Monday as far as new merch is concerned. Not much there to go with. So I'm a little underwhelmed. There's again, we covered the big items, right? The Force Effects Elite Blacks, Dark Saber, the Mandalorian, or this is our Boba Fett helmet, and then the one that gets me most excited, this Slave One. So that's it. That's all we got. Let's get caught up on your comments and just see what you all have to say, and then we'll get into some of these discussion points. And I saw, Anthony, you've raised a couple of really good ones already. So as a fan of Star Wars, you want Dave and John to do big crossover event with Mandalorian Ahsoka TV show, Rangers of the New Republic. Of course, Anthony. You'd say a big crossover event. Well, I think there's going to be crossover series for sure. The crossover event will most likely be a feature-length movie, whether that's released at theaters or not. And I saw your other comment is really the question. And I do think it will culminate in that kind of thing. So we're going to get Mandalorian season 3. We're going to get Boba Fett. We're getting Ahsoka. We're going to get Rangers of the New Republic, all happening within the same time frame. And I suspect that eventually we'll get a Luke Skywalker crossover event. And I still think that there's possibility that could end up as an animated series featuring the voice of Mark Hamill, or we'll just see where they go with that. Or even if they do it, really at this point, I think it's more of just what folks would like to see more than what they necessarily have planned. The other part of that is, of course, the controversy that comes up as it starts to build up support and give underpinnings to the sequel trilogy. And there's a big group of folks who would rather see the sequel trilogy ignored, decanonized, and that kind of stuff. I agree with Josh. That's just simply not going to happen. When you talk to folks that are somewhat just more reasonable, it doesn't make sense that they would decanonize them. I do get the arguments. I've participated with Thor Skywalker's Discord enough to know that it wouldn't really. It might open up additional revenue streams for them if they would remake them or decanonize them, replace. But I just don't see that happening. I honestly don't see that happening. And again, Mike Porter, hello, Reefer Man, Mike. You guys all appreciate you being here. Here you go. The comment, friend who's a regional manager for Southern region of AMC said they're going to do same day releases with on-demand and movie theaters. I definitely see that coming. And I keep getting email about renting a theater. And like for Wonder Woman 84, for example, I could go there. I have already credits through Cinemark for 5 tickets. We could go see Wonder Woman 84 in the theater at no out-of-pocket cost, be able to see it in the theater, get popcorn, spend money at the concession stand, support the theater experience so that they can do that better and perhaps get a better watching experience as a viewer in front, in a theater itself. But I think that's more likely to be the future, where people can go in and sit and watch, but the revenue is going to come from the not from the ticket sales, but rather just concessions. So very likely that theater, and I know that Fanjecture talked about it being a special event where maybe the ticket costs are $100, $150, like you would go see a musical that's a touring. I think it might actually go the other way. The actual ticket to go in and see the movie might be nominal, a couple of dollars, but they'll make all their money on concessions, and they'll try to get people. It's about getting butts in seats, right? How do you get butts in seats and make money on your concessions if you raise prices, right? So I think likely what we'll see are prices go down, especially with the same day and date thing. And John Campia was talking about that yesterday. There's already some talk in those theater chains about slashing the costs of the ticket, and the revenue sharing would be quite low. So I could see that happening. Yeah, $200 for a Darksaber. Oh, yeah, there you go. Bo could have just paid Mando for it, give him some credits and paid for it. Oh, do they have a weapon, a toy for the weapon that Din was using? Oh, the spear. No, they don't have one for the Beskar spear. That doesn't exist. I am absolutely sure, though, that cosplayers will be making them in bulk. And that's the kind of thing where you could probably go to a Renaissance fair, right? Go to a Ren fair and just get a big steel spear. Maybe get a little bit of a paint job, and there you go. Beskar spear obtained. You'll get that kind of thing. Will Morgan, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. XR Coon again. Oh, what's up, Gray? Very good. Thanks for being here, Gray. Good to see you. Phil, hello there. Hello, friends. Thanks for being here. Park Outdoors. Hey, it is XR Coon. You're going to come by on Burke's chat. Let me just, I brought that up because I know I am working with Burke on doing a thing on New Year's Eve, and we're trying to plan out that content as well. So try to support each other, and Burke's doing some good work over there. So Xavier, hello, welcome. Was going to watch Arrow for like the 100th time. Oh, well, thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate you stopping by. And Trinity, as always, welcome. Thank you. Oh, I support this. Appreciate the support. Let's see. Yeah. So I saw this. Let me get back down. It jumped on me. I like the comment. Yeah, Xavier, lots of color on the bottom. Right, of that Slave One. That Slave One is just a remarkable figure. And I like the detail on the bottom. Not only color, but the detail. It's very nice. Let's see. After watching The Rescue, I wanted to play a set of all the characters. You know, Mike, that's exactly it. And I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Season 2 of The Mandalorian, for as far as like collecting vintage series figures, is going to be pricey. Just to get all the figures. They introduced so many characters. You know, you've got a repackaged Luke Skywalker now. You've got and several characters that they have yet to release on the Mando Monday. Hasbro, again, I've been severely critical of them. I know for a fact that they have many of these figures already in the pipeline as far as pre-production and artwork, but they have not released them for pre-order or gotten their production lines up. And I understand that we're going through these times and factories are difficult to get ramped up, and with the folks not being able to get to gather and things. Some of these places have been shut down due to pandemic. But come on, we've got a pent up demand, and you had a fantastic episode. And why wouldn't you follow that with an announcement? At least do like Hot Toys did, where they said, "Hey, we're going to give you a preview. Look for the pre-order to come sometime spring 2021." Hasbro didn't even do that. So been very, very critical of them, and I don't know why they can't get their act together over there. Their marketing department has got to get to their ball together, right? Do they have a toy for the spare-looking weapon? Oh, before he got to Gideon, not the spear. Oh yeah, the spear. You meant spear, right? Spear, right? The Beskar spear, right? But what's the other weapon? He had a blaster. Do they have a toy of the blaster? I don't think they have like a Black Series blaster pistol. That would be a very, very good item for them to create, or for, like the scale that fits in with like a cosplay with the helmet and the Mandalorian helmet and the Boba Fett helmet. A Black Series blaster would be a really good idea if that's what you're talking about, Anthony. Yeah, and the Fallen Order. Oh, there's another good idea, Will, as far as like with role-playing games. Why not release molded figures that are paintable, right? The little metal die-cast things that they paint for role-play games, where you can go get those characters. They should have those as well. Have kids ask for Grogu for Christmas? Yes. Mike, they have. I've gotten several requests from boys and girls alike, and parents. Oh, everybody loves Grogu. Yes, I've gotten quite a few of those. Yeah, the Hot Wheels stuff looks really good. Anthony, do they have a toy for the spear? Again, I asked that. I'll probably catch up. You probably, yeah. I feel like everything's 150 anymore. That's, or more, right, Will? I mean, 150 or more, right? $150. Hey, kid, pick up a stick. Right. That's right. That's right, Mike. That's why a lot of these feel like more like collector items. And that's my complaint about that Nerf gun, right? The Nerf gun isn't really collector because it looks like a Nerf toy, but it's it's over $100, like $120, which makes it more than a toy for a kid just to go play with. Plus, it's a single shot kind of thing. where you've got to load and shoot, load and shoot. And normally with Nerf guns, they're multi-shot kind of things where you put in a cartridge and it would have several in it. And so they really did a neat job as far as the mechanics of it and the look and feel of it. But $120 for a single shot Nerf gun that shoots, bullets that are painted. But my goodness. I'll get to, I've answered this in a way. Hopefully there's clarification down here. Damien, hello. Good to see you. Do they have the Slave One ship? I'll pay $1 billion for it. As my logo goes through. Oh, a real Slave One, right? I've seen it mentioned that Cara Dune's gonna cash in with Moff Gideon and Dr. Pershing. She's gonna get double bounty on both of those. Bring them in alive. So maybe Cara can give you a loan. As Asoziel, I believe Boba Fett show will see a lot of revenge seeking from Boba. The Boba Fett series, I think, is just going to be crime lord stuff. Actually, I don't know about revenge seeking. I do see that he could potentially have some run-ins with why did I just lose his name? The guy who had his armor before. Oh shoot, I love the dude. You guys will give me his name. I would think that they would have some run-ins where he was a marshal wearing Boba's armor. Now Boba is on the same planet as a crime lord, and we're going to see some crime lord kind of stuff go in. We might get then cross appearances from some very famous pirates. maybe even a Western style gunslinger who has had it out with Boba in the past. I would love to see. I would absolutely love to see Cad Bane show up and have a beef with Boba, and we could have a bit of a thing going there as well. So I would like to see that. Phil, I'd love to see a live action Skywalker series. Yes. Or an animated series, right? The same art style as the Clone Wars. Absolutely, sign me up. They need to do it. And also the young Ben Solo. Yeah, Luke and young Ben. There's your show right there, Damien. And young Ben. I think I heard Josh say he should be like 4 or 5 years old right now. If that's the case, you're really setting up that within a short amount of time, you could have a young Ben Solo, maybe 12, 13 years old, traveling with Luke, learning and solving problems and things like that. So there you go. It's off topic. What's your opinion of Alan Horn retiring? Oh, I saw that yesterday. Alan Horn announced his retirement from Disney Pictures, and they've already announced his replacement. But here I was hoping that they would maybe elevate Kevin Feige into that role. I think that's the natural progression. That's where Feige belongs. But at this time, they're leaving him at Marvel Studios, and perhaps. We got Feige at Marvel Studios. You got Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm. To me, I just wanted to see Feige elevated, and then perhaps as Kathleen Kennedy prepares for her retirement, that we would see a successor named to fill her shoes that also starts with the last name of F. Mark Hamilton, welcome. Yeah. Good afternoon. And good to have you here, Mark, as always. Why do you think we won't have the Beskar Spear high-end Star Wars toy? Why do you think they don't have? A couple of reasons for that, Anthony. And the same reason I think probably we won't get the blaster. There's a scene of a lady in Canada who was arrested for having a cosplay gun. It was a blaster. So she was dressed, I believe, as Princess Leia or or Padme, and she had the blaster, like a Star Wars style blaster. And they came and they had her face down on the pavement, stuff like that, because that blaster was well made. Now it still looked like a blaster. It didn't look like a handgun, but therein lies the issue that people will use it. So I don't think that we'll get like a Hasbro release of the blaster, nor do I think we'll get the Beskar spear, only because weapons become a bit of an issue. And we even had a Santa Claus this year get in trouble because he would not tell a kid that he could have a Nerf gun. So it's just politicized climate, and I don't see them doing it. Now, I do think like a Beskar spear would be really easy to get at a Ren Fair kind of thing, right? They'll definitely. And as far as a high quality blaster, you're probably going to find those on like Etsy kind of places where folks who have those kind of skills will make very detailed, very good versions of those blasters, and you can buy them from there. Here we go, Mark. Yeah, over a year after Mando season 1 and still no TBS or TVC blurg. Right, Black Series or Vintage Collection blurg, Quill and blurg. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Peeps would buy multiple of them. You want 2 or 3 of those blurgs anyway, right? You want one for your Mando. You want one for your Quill, assuming that you have a Quill. And those are kind of tough to get. Yeah, hashtag Hasbro fail. Those guys are just not on it. I don't understand. It's beyond comprehension at this point. And all the kind of criticism that Lucasfilm gets, and I saw a ton of criticism on folks complaining about some of the figures that were released. They were repaints and things like that were already previous. We have a huge demand for Mando figures in both the Black Series and Vintage Collection, and to some degree even the Retro Collection figures. And Hasbro is just they're mired in quicksand. I don't understand what, molasses, like those, they're moving in a snail's pace. What other slow metaphor can I use? They're not keeping up. When you got into a store and the shelves were packed with Star Wars toys. That's right, Reeves. Toys R Us is gone. Largely, there's some left in Canada. They've tried to open a few here in the States, but as far as like a dedicated toy store itself, they don't exist. The demand for toys is kind of shifted, and we have huge demands in the collector space, and you get collectors going and buying entire inventories and then putting them on eBay to sell. So there's a little bit of a false market where you see things snapped up immediately. But at the same time, the reason that's happening is because the resale market is still strong enough. And that's typically collectors wanting 2, 3, 5 of them for themselves, not really where the kids can just go and get one off the shelf and play with it. And I think it's a shame. You go to Walmart or Target, any of these, they have a somewhat small toy section. And I'll tell you, we went on vacation to Mexico a couple of years ago. We went to a Walmart, and they had a huge portion of their parking lot with an outdoor structure, the tent, if you will, like going to go see one of those old time circuses, right? Great big circus tent kind of thing. And filled wall to wall, front to back with toys. The biggest toy store that I've ever been in. It was a parking lot tent in Mexico of a Walmart. And I thought we might see those kind of things crop up seasonally here in the States because they were so big in Mexico. But we haven't seen those in the States. I haven't seen any sign that they've shown up in Canada, in North America at all, or otherwise. So it is a shame that they're just not there. Yeah, Cobb Vanth. That's it, Gray. Yeah, Cobb Vanth is who I was trying to think of. So I think Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett are going to be adversaries for sure. For sure. Seeing videos like people have backyards and warehouses filled with life-size TIE fighters. Oh, yeah, I've seen stuff like that too. Uh, is Zero still alive? Oh, Zero the Hutt? Good question. Is Zero the Hutt still alive? No, Zero was murdered. Zero was murdered. Cad Bane, I think, took Zero out. Yeah, Cad Bane, please. Yes. I really think Boba let Cobb Vanth use his armor. Cobb was using it for good for protection of others. We want that story told, right? Exactly. We want that story told. Not allowed to wear my DL40 when I go see movies because it looks like a gun. Yes, that's exactly it, Gray. People just get kind of crazy about it. They see, something that resembles a handgun, even though it's obviously a blaster, right? It doesn't have the mechanics at all of an actual handgun, but they just lose their minds. You can't have it. Yeah. Saw a nerfed in pulse rifle Best Buy for over 100. That's right. It's $120. $120. It's just crazy. Etsy, the blasters. Exactly. Etsy is where you're going to find the blasters in the Beskar spear. Not very energetic. Have to work extra night. Oh, no. Bad news about the Mandalorian I didn't understand. The bad news about the Mandalorian seems to be about drama related to Pedro Pascal that happened last year. Josh has kind of reaffirmed what Grace Randolph has been saying, that there was something fairly major, like a walk off the set kind of event that resulted in some actions being taken that from all indications have been resolved. So this, I mentioned this a couple times yesterday. A lot of times in social media and YouTube and those kind of forums, people act like everybody's in high school or teenage drama, right? Like so and so said something, so and so is really mad, and they're not talking to each other anymore, and we can't be friends, like that kind of stuff. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I'm absolutely sure that tempers flared. People got mad. There were some things said and some actions taken, but it seems that since then there has been resolution. We have every indication that season 3 of The Mandalorian is going to be Pedro Pascal is already on board. We've got Wayne, John Wayne's grandson, has already confirmed that he's doing stunt body double stuff for Pedro Pascal, signed up for season 3. Pedro has been very positive about it. That every indication is that it's going to continue, but maybe some things were kind of put in place to tell Pedro Pascal that he did not have the leverage that he wanted to have as far as contract renegotiations. And so it's just about a studio and an actor trying to out leverage one another, and it kind of got off the rails for a bit. It seems that adults got in the room, worked things out, and adults are back at the job. We don't have a teenage drama where I can't be friends with you anymore because you said this mean thing to me, right? I think we're over it. Lego with the Star. If you think Hasbro fails, you see Lego with the Star Wars series. But I think Lego's doing a better job. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. It makes sets irrelevant to shows that have been recently released. Lego does have a nice, they've got several nice figures. They've got the Razor Crest. I've seen some builds of it. They've got several builds related to the Mandalorian with Grogu and stuff like that. 2Med2, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm honored. Thanks for being here. They continue to release original trilogy sets. Mando and Clone Wars are fairly recent. Yeah, and Mando and Clone Wars, Mando especially, is where the money is right now. And they should absolutely be leveraging it for every dollar they can, because right now is the time. The Christmas set, I saw the Christmas sets were okay, but I personally wouldn't, I'm guessing. But I would personally buy them. This is okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if you mean wouldn't or would. You would buy them, but they're so pricey. That's the other thing about Legos. My goodness, you'd think Legos were made out of some precious material rather than cast plastic, right? Like you would think that the manufacturing process for Legos was intricate hand work involved. Oh, the price they charge for those sets, oh my goodness, they're crazy. Yeah. Exclusives at every store. But that's the other thing they're doing. They're making all of these different exclusives to different stores, different brands. So this is a Walmart exclusive. This is a Target exclusive. This is exclusive to Entertainment Earth, or this is exclusive to oh shoot, what was the other one we had out there? GameStop, right? Like all of these things are exclusive, and you can't get them direct. The Asian knockoffs. Oh, yes. Speaking of Asian knockoffs, Santa has done that himself. Look here. I've got Santa in his sleigh, right? Santa's hanging on for dear life. The reindeer are there. We've got a little village down here at the bottom. We got all that. This is one of those that it's a knockoff. And it's animated. It's got a little hand crank down here where you can make Santa and the reindeer move. It's great. Yeah, that's one of those knockoffs. Yep. You can tell too because the quality's not necessarily great. I had to use a little bit of glue here or there for some of these pieces that wouldn't stay together. I'm still going to buy the Lego sets, but I many other want the Bad Batch, Siege of Mandalorian sets, more X-Wings and TIE Fighters. Yeah, fair enough. Cheap toys. Plastic, they don't hold up well, right? They break, right? I just mentioned that. When I buy Lego, I think them as a collection, authentic, not some cheap knockoff. That's right. Yep. Yeah. His girlfriend. Oh, that's right. His girlfriend killed him, and then Cat Bane killed her. Right. It's sad. Can't find any of the new vintage collection figures before the pandemic. Go to buy. You know, that's the other thing is. I know these vintage collection figures are out there, and I keep going by my local Walmart and work in the aisles. And every week I see the exact same product. It's like they're not restocking or they're not even ordering a lot of the figures because there's no way that the shelves are exactly the same. The same three figures are hanging on the exact same peg every week. They're not getting restocked. They're not getting moved around at all. And I think a lot of that is just purchasing, right? The purchasing folks at my local Walmart aren't buying the daggone things. I need to probably go talk to a manager and say, hey, knuckleheads, have you heard of The Mandalorian? Oh my goodness, could you order some stuff? You might sell a couple of them, right? The other part is I just think everything's back ordered. Like I pre-ordered the Black Series Dark Ray figure from Target, the Target exclusive, and I have gotten at least 4 or 5 notices of the delay in the back order and it being pushed back further. So I feel that's where the spear came from. It's a way for Pedro Pascal to do his own stunts. Oh, no question about that, Will. Pedro Pascal and his ability to do his own stunts with that would be great. Yep. Bad news isn't about the character's drama. It's the Book of Boba Fett. Oh, in place or instead of The Mandalorian. So the way that works, Dale, you may be misreading some of it. As soon as the production ends for the Book of Boba Fett, they're going to go straight into production for The Mandalorian Season 3. In fact, Jon Favreau said that they had already started pre-production for Mandalorian Season 3 while they're currently in production for Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. The other thing is the Book of Boba Fett may not be 8 episodes. From what I'm seeing and some of the speculations, it could be as little as 3 or 4 episodes, a bit of a half season kind of thing. The Book of Boba Fett, the production on that, or the shooting, could close very soon. They could be done with all the shooting and go straight into post-production very, very soon and start production on Mandalorian Season 3 immediately. So I think that it's not as bad as you may think, Dale. Justin is lost. Hello. Welcome. Good to have you here. Anything gets reported to the source, Grace Randolph's probably not true. Yeah, Grace doubling down is not a good look. Even with what Josh is saying is primarily, he's supporting a lot of what she said, but it seems that that's been resolved. She's still acting like it isn't, and that there's some risk to us seeing Din Djarin in season 3. Her rumors of the second half of Mandalorian season 2 having a different kind of cadence to it or pace, there'd be some sort of shift, didn't happen. It did not happen. And she can double down all she wants to, but that second half of the season did not change in tone at all. And now saying, well, it's actually going to be season 3, you're not going to see Din. Look, get off of it. And I saw a really good speculation I think I was having with on Discord. And we were talking about the possibility of this this story arc coming to conclusion the way it did with Grogu leaving with Luke Skywalker could have been moved up to season 2 so that that story arc is a bit of a completion, and we're at a point where Bo-Katan is going to be prominently featured, and letting Pedro Pascal know, hey, we can shift gears here and go Bo-Katan in the reclamation of Mandalore without Din, or with Din as a minor character. We don't have to keep Din as the primary protagonist. And I think, again, that's a bit of how a studio does contract negotiations, renegotiations with actors who think that they have leverage. They say, you don't have the leverage you think you do. And they're able to kind of shift gears a little bit. And so I think that season 3 is going to pick up right where it left off. I don't know where Josh is getting the information about a big time jump between season 2 and 3. I haven't seen that anywhere. And I know there was a lot of speculation of that between season 1 and season 2, and there was none. So I would presume that between season 2 and season 3, we might get just no time jump, or very little as far as weeks or months, nothing like years. And also a speculation. We'll see where you guys go with this, but I'll go ahead and bring it up now. And I brought this up, and I've heard Josh has picked up on it, that the Jon Favreau based the story of the Mandalorian off of Paper Moon, and it's about a grifter and an orphan who go through adventures along the way to return the orphan to her family. Sounds familiar, right? The Mandalorian was about a bounty hunter, a grifter, right? The equivalent, and an orphan, right? Grogu, who go through adventures on their way to returning to his people. Well, at the end of the Paper Moon, the grifter returns the orphan to her aunt, and she moves in. She's got a room. She's going to be cared for. She has a home, and he goes on his way. He gets in his truck and off he drives. There's a little emotional moment, much like you had with Din and Grogu and Luke at the end of chapter 16. And from there, so in Paper Moon, he gets down the road a ways. He has a breakdown, and all of a sudden, the girl shows up because she ran away from home, and she went and found him out on the road doing what he does. Every indication is that that same thing will happen with Grogu, that he's with Luke now. That'll be for some short period of time, and then he will rejoin Din down the road. There's every expectation that it would conclude the same way. And I think that maybe if this is a 4-season arc, that at the end of the 4th season, the season finale, we will see Grogu and Din rejoined in the last episode of the series, and off into the sunset they will go to continue on their way. it'll end very much like Paper Moon ended. So and where Din said, "I'll see you again. I promise." It'll happen there at the end of the Mandalorian series. Book of Boba will run alongside the Mandalorian with an episode different days of the week. I mean, I wouldn't think the Book of Boba Fett will run alongside Mandalorian episode different days of the week. Right. I think the thought is that the Book of Boba Fett might run the first 3 weeks of December and run its course. It might be a 3-episode series, maybe 4. And that Mandalorian season 3 will pick up the following week. I think that's very well could be. I can't spell. Gosh, wouldn't. Yeah, I got it. Alex on Star Wars Explained did a video on that this morning. Okay, very good. Season 3 will air right after Book of Boba Fett. Yep. He's saying Alex probably did misread it. Yep, I think so. I think Alex is misreading. I think people do that. They get so caught up in it, they don't really pay attention to the detail, and they hear something or see something that wasn't said. And even Josh picked up on it last night in Nerd Theory, saying no, that's not what Jon Favreau said. You should go back and listen, right? Yeah. Grace is crazy. That's all you need to know. Yep. Too much Grace talk. Okay, we're off of it. Isn't the helmet coming off a change in tone? No, I don't think it is, Will. I think it's a continuation of the character arc. So I think that we saw there was a lot of discussion earlier about Din being this season not having character development, and I disagreed with that vehemently. That he kept seeing Din and Grogu grow in their relationship as father-son, and this love the mutual love that they have for one another continue to grow and bond, and that you saw Din's whole character arc change from being the lone grifter, to go back to the Paper Moon example, right? The lone kind of bounty hunter out on the road doing his thing, into being more of somebody who's reliant on his friends, who's starting to build a community, and his whole character arc and personality was changing. And along that way, this dissonance that he has between how he was raised and in this sect of the Mandalorian culture began to grow, and it came to the in the episode where what's the guy's name? Bill. Anyway, when he had to take the helmet off to get the whereabouts, I don't think that was a change in tone. I think that was the natural next step with him struggling with that. And then we saw in The Rescue, chapter 16, where he had to just finally say, okay, I'm giving this up, right? And that final scene with the helmet laying on the floor and him standing there, and I loved seeing Bo-Katan and the Night Owl wearing their helmets and him not wearing his helmet. That was a neat little picture, and I thought it was it. Gray, thanks for being here. But thanks so much. Bye. There was a time jump between season 1 and 2 up to a year. I don't think so, 2Med2. And even in the production stuff, it talked about it picking up immediately after. And I think that the time between the end of 1 and the start of 2 was like you would have between any other chapter. And that's why you kept seeing continuous chapters, right? We went from chapter 8 to chapter 9. I think the jump from 8 to 9 is no different than you had between 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 7 to 8, those kind of things. So I think it's the same. Didn't someone say the Mandalorian was going to be like Game of Thrones? You sort of have that developing, right? The Mandalorian culture is fractured, and you've got different houses, and you've got then the rule of Mandalore now uh, up in the air, right? Moff Gideon has been defeated. Din holds the Darksaber. He has a rightful claim to the throne, if you want to use that metaphor, the throne. And also Bo-Katan might have a legitimate claim, even though she doesn't have the Darksaber, right? The Darksaber doesn't mean you are ruler, right? It doesn't bestow power upon. It allows somebody to lay claim to. So it sort of gives you a ticket into the party, right? Bo-Katan, I think, already owns a ticket to the party through her heritage, what she came from, and her previous position as ruler of Mandalore. So she already has a ticket. Now Din has a ticket. And we may see that there are other people holding tickets in. For the Game of Thrones analogy, you've got different houses, right? Different people who want to lay claim to the Iron Throne. And here we might end up with a similar situation where we have multiple people that have a claim to the throne, and then who is going to wield, right? Who is going to sit on that throne? It's really good. Damien, loved the end of the show when Din took off his helmet. Very poetic, yes. It's in fact, it almost reads exactly the same as that, right? I want to look on you with my own eyes. That's what Anakin in Vader's suit said to Luke, right, to his son. I want to look on you with my own eyes, son. And in this case, we had a bit of a mirror of that, where the son was saying, Dad, I want to look at you with my own eyes, right? And he took off his helmet because the son asked him to. I still don't think the Din is force sensitive. I think he was just, and that's the beauty of it. The people say, well, he could understand Grogu, so he must be force sensitive. I don't think that's the case. I think Din is just that well connected to his son now that he understands his son's actions and just his body language and what he's doing. If you've been a parent, you could tell that your kid's lying to you, not because necessarily their words, but by their behavior. And they're always like, well, how do you know I'm lying? Well, because I know you, right? Not because I can read your mind or because I got eyes in the back of my head, right? It's just that I know you, and what you are telling me and your behaviors don't align. And I could see that. Just as well as you can see a lot of times your kids make a connection to something and you can see it. And so maybe you'll support them in that because you just can see how they connected to that thing. And I think that's what happened here as well. So that's it. So I've caught up with the comments. We talked about it. Just to kind of go back, I think the highlight of the week for me has to be this Slave One, and I'll bring that back up here, right? The Slave One model that's coming out May 2021, and it's a vintage collection, so your vintage line figures will fit inside, and there's a nice shot here showing Boba Fett sitting in the. So this is a vintage collection Boba Fett figure sitting in the cockpit, and there's room here for two more figures to slip in right behind him there. You could probably even stack in a couple behind that. But you've got that. And then if you follow the link on the Mando Monday to that page, right, it's you just follow the link there. You can, so here's the link from StarWars.com Mando Mondays. Follow the link and you can then get into there's a video, and I didn't play the video for you here, but there's a nice video at the end. Oh shoot, now this is not going to the video. I have to go all the way down here. Just a second. Here we go. You guys want me to play this video? Let me bring it up here. Let me unmute it. There's a 1981 edition.
collectors, it's Joe from Entertainment Earth. Now, as you know, this year we're celebrating 40 years of The Empire Strikes Back, so today we're going to take a closer look at the all-new vintage collection Slave One, and we're going to compare it to the original Kenner vehicle from back in the day. The Slave One here is going to come in that same retro packaging, but inside you're going to find a totally...
Okay, it's only 3 minutes long, so we can...
The first thing you're going to notice is the size of the vehicle. It is truly imposing and massive in scale. When you compare it to the original, you're going to see that this one is much, much bigger. The original cockpit was designed to fit one figure. This time around, you're going to be able to fit 3 figures in the cockpit. The next thing you're going to notice is the incredible attention to detail here. Every single inch of the ship has a wonderful weathering effect. The backside has been completely updated, so it really feels like a model coming straight out of the movie and onto your shelf. There are also a ton of great play and display features that I wanted to highlight here. First up, you're going to see these 2 cannons here with real firing missiles. The backside has 2 bombs, which can drop by the push of a button. And you're going to be able to open up the vehicle in a couple different places. Of course, on the backside. And this side panel here opens, and you can display figures on the inside. There are even pegs where you can have them stand in place. It gives you a ton of different play and display options. You can really recreate all of your favorite scenes from the original movie using this vehicle. Now, both versions of the vehicle, the new one and the original, come with the Han Solo in Carbonite accessory. You can really see how far we've come in terms of sculpting and detail here. This is such an iconic part of Star Wars history, and you can add it to your collection now.
Oh, okay, my hype is up. Oh, my hype is up for this thing. I think I'm going to have to look into getting one of these. So consider the tropes. This is the way. Right? Legend, very similar. Beliefs need to change for progression. Yes. It was exactly. It was a progression of the character. Exactly. The way things can be that work best for everyone. Right. The character definitely progressed through the season. And so I am, just get back to this for a second. I am now obsessed with this. This is absolutely wonderful. We all need one for Christmas. Not available until May. So May 2021. This is a fantastic vehicle and definitely worth having. Yeah, the beginning, it looks good. I would love to have one. Yeah, this Slave One looks fantastic. And if it continues on, we know the Book of Boba Fett's certainly going to carry on. But if you want to recreate scenes from season 2 of The Mandalorian, I'd say it's a must-have. And considering that it would go side by side with the Razor Crest that Hasbro backed, then this would be a fantastic vehicle to add to your collection. So I'm super excited about that Slave One. It looks great. So folks, good to see you here. I know we're on the cusp of Christmas. Imagic Maker and I need to get our schedules together, kind of talk about our Thursday Star Wars talks. Those coming up this week. And tomorrow, I might give you a bonus video. We'll see how things go. Normally Wednesdays, I'm kind of tied up, but tomorrow I might be able to get in there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Comic Book Steals and Deals. Welcome. Thanks for coming right at the end. Look at Slave One, Mystic, getting coffee. Whoa. This is an amazing vehicle. Okay. You've talked me into it. Just because I'm in love with this thing. Look at the backside detail of that. You know, it fits your vintage collection figures, shows them loading the carbonite block there. And you got to see a lot of it in that video. But my goodness, what a beautiful beautiful vehicle. Yeah. All right, guys, I got to go. Good to see you all here again. And tomorrow, we may get online again and talk about Star Wars some more. Just fandom and geek out. And I've been thinking about trying to get a guest in here to talk. If I can work out schedules, we may get a guest. We'll have a joint discussion. So Appreciate it so much. You guys have a great day. And until we talk again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.